everybody, it's Lisa here with Minnesota Steelheaders, Women on the Fly. Today I just wanted to go over a couple things with you guys as far as the basics of a hit bag or a tackle box when steelheading or even salmon fishing in the fall on Minnesota's North Shore. Bear in mind as we go through this that these are just things that I personally love to carry with me. A lot of people change like this, like that, you know, everybody's so much different. But just so you have an idea of what I prefer to bring, I'm going to show off what I have. Alright, I usually bring a glove with me, purpose being better grip. You know, if I'm holding the fish, I don't really want it to slip through my hands and, you know, hit some rocks and bang it up at all. And so I try to do that just for the fish's sake and easier to handle. I have my leader line, basic scissors. I have flies. You know, flies can be great year-round for a number of things. Pretty much it's only sometimes the color or, you know, the types of flies that you use that can be more effective during certain times than others. That's something you just kind of learn along the way. But these are the ones that I like to carry most. And these are all wet flies. There are no dry flies in here. This box essentially sinkers, and I like to carry a lot of sinkers because I know that I'm on the bottom where I'm supposed to be if I'm losing them. So sometimes I have to sacrifice a few, but you know, there's no problem with that because that's going to be the indicator of where you want to be and where you want to be to catch those fish. I do have bobber steps in here. Some areas are best fished and most effectively fished with bobbers, and there's nothing wrong with that. So the more you can bring with you to help you be versatile in the adverse conditions, you know, the more success you may find. So it's always good to bring along things like that so you can change it up if you have to. I have hooks. I have more sinkers here. As far as hook goes, I'm a person that really likes the red hooks. Everybody's different again, but I really like the red ones. As far as sizes, generally, you know, on an average spring, I'll stick with about an 8. Higher, stronger currents, I may do a 6, and then, you know, for the low levels and clarity, you know, I'll go even smaller. It's just kind of something you work out as you get out there and you fish. Also in here, I do have some swivels. Here I have just different colors of yarns. That way they're already pre-cut. I can grab what I want. You know, on days when you're constantly going through yarn and putting different colors on, going through colors left and right because, you know, they're fish fair, but they can't seem to get them to bite. It's good to have something like this where it's all ready for you to go and you can quickly, you know, switch them out. I do also, in another part of my bag, bring just a bag of some extra yarn, just so I have it, and so I can bring even more colors than what I would normally be able to carry in here. I do have bobbers for the slip bobber fishing. I do also carry some business cards and some collection packets. As some of you know, we're part of a genetics project this year to find out some more about how kamloops are affecting our steelhead populations. And so I do have some of those for scale samples. I always carry my fishing licenses and permits for things like the genetics project when you're collecting scale samples in waterproof bags so that nothing ever happens to them, and so they're always in my bag. Put those back. Camera. Everybody usually loves to bring a camera. Always remember, no pictures with the fish's life. If that fish looks tired, needs to be back in the water, you know, use your better judgment in getting it back in the water. I have a couple knives in here again for the scale samples, and then also in case I get a looper, that way I can bleed it out. I have some egg sinkers. What I do with these is I go ahead and will attach them above My leader, I will do this when I'm shore casting. Also, I do this if I'm in a very big gorge or pool and I'm bouncing my bait through there. That's when those come into play. And these are some other techniques that we'll go over too here in some videos as we get going. I have a Sharpie so that, you know, on the collection envelopes I can write all the information required for that. And then some may find it strange, but I have popsicle sticks in here. The reason I do is because when we're shore casting, a lot of times you will want to set up your rod so that it releases when a fish is on and taking line. So we'll talk more about these and how they play into that when we go over some shore casting. Also, there's a file in here for hooks, because you can never have sharp enough hooks. It's never a bad thing to get them a little sharper after they've been hitting some rocks and debris down on the bottom. And then finally, obviously, a pliers. You want to be able to get that hook out of that fish as safely and as fast as you can, so that we don't cause any necessary damage to that fish. So that's the general stuff that's in my fly bag. Now, some other things that people a lot of times will like to bring with them is beads. Beads are very, very, very effective on the North Shore. A lot of people use them, and they absolutely love using them. So it's a staple in a lot of people's bags. Indicators, people love to use them. I don't use them so much, but you know, for those that do, make sure you always have a few with you. And if you're just learning, it's not a bad idea to take them with you, because it's, you know, it's worth a try. When you're learning, it's a lot of trial and error. So you want to make sure that you're open to trying new things, to figure it out and to figure out what works best for you. A lot of times I'll bring a multi-tool along with me also, just to have with me. And then these are fantastic because, you know, if you're in an area where you're seeing a lot of fish, but you're breaking off and then you have to retie, it saves you a lot of time because your leader is already pre-tied, your glow bug's there. I mean, all you have to do is tie up and you're ready to go. It saves a lot of steps. So a lot of people love to carry these in their bags, and it's a great idea. So that's basically all I have for you today. I just wanted to give you an idea of what I carry along with me. And like I said, don't ever be afraid to share